understanding. We know that navigating the legal system is stressful and overwhelming, but Liberty Law Group will carry that burden for you. When you're facing legal issues, make the right call. 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in to Ticket Weeknights, streaming only, Facebook, YouTube, eventually X here. We're having some issues with Twitter, X, DM'd Elon Musk. Let's hope we get that back up sooner or later. Allo Channel 961. We got the host as always, DeMornay Pierson-El, streaming in. And despite being on the airwaves, or excuse me, despite being streaming only, you can still use the Starter Haven text line. That's 402-464-5685. DeMornay Pierson-El, how's it going on this Monday night?
It's going, enjoying things.
I think you know where I want to start with this. USA Gold basketball. We did it. The boys did it. I know what you trying to say, that I was pretty down on this team. I pointed at, hey, but was it not very close for Serbia and then even France for a little bit, though France felt a lot
matter. It don't matter.
Okay, 2028. Do you start to worry?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Just because what Steph might be there. Steph and KD might be the only two that'll still be there, honestly.
KD signed off on 2028. If he's healthy, looks like KD will be part of 2028. Steph, we don't know why.
People are treating Steph like Steph is LeBron. LeBron is 40. Like, I don't see LeBron, going to another Olympics. Like, that's just me. If he does, to each his own. It's another notch in his belt. But Steph ain't LeBron. Like, people saying like, oh, this is the last time. Steph could possibly be back. The next year's coming down the line. So I'm not as worried. I'm just a little bit unsure because we don't know exactly, how it's kind of going to shake out. You can kind of see who's kind of, all right, that was the last, hurrah, like I said. Mm-hmm. With Melo being there, Dwayne being there, like I said, I'm pretty sure that was probably LeBron's last gold medal. So with him being gone, it makes things a little bit nervous, but, you still have superstars that can take over with things and whatnot. And like I said, I wasn't as nervous as you were, or as, harsh as you were. I told you, once they settle in and get things going in, they're going to assert their dominance, and they deal with exactly what they did.
You can't deny you at no point you were sweating that these guys might walk away with the silver here.
Against France? Absolutely not. No.
Serbia though. You weren't sweating at all.
It's silver. So that was after Serbia.
Yeah, that Serbia game was the one I was sweating out, though. I felt pretty good against France, but Serbia, man, the way that first half, they just weren't. They didn't wake up for whatever reason. I don't know. Time change. They were just tired. Whatever. It took them a second to get going, but the thing about the Team USA, it only takes one person to spark. It doesn't matter if it's LeBron, if it's Steph, if it's KD. Just initiate a spark and the other two come alive.
And you seen that's exactly, what happened. I was a little nervous, like, okay, all right, wake up now, like stop playing around. But other than that, no. When they had France, I wasn't nervous at all.
Yeah, despite only winning by 4, it did feel pretty close at times, but for whatever reason, I felt a lot more comfortable versus France. And then when Steph Curry gets going, they kind of got out of they kind of hit like a dry spot for whatever reason, like what they were normally coming down and doing, they kind of went away from it. I don't know if they just started to try and shoot or whatnot. There was turnovers. France, I would say, was starting to kind of out hustle them. And you just had the silencer. He wanted all bets. He wanted all smoke. It didn't matter where he was shooting from. Anything he was tossing up was gold. Yeah, and real quick, I want to check on those turnovers with France. Yeah, so even with France, and this was kind of a problem with Team USA the entire time. 17 turnovers to France, only had 13, but offensively they just didn't have enough firepower. They still played. They actually shot a better 2-point percentage at 60%, 61%.
Lazy. I feel like they were lazy on that back end and the stretch. Third quarter they kind of got hot right then and there. Before it went to the fourth quarter, they kind of had some turnovers, and they were just hustle plays. Like, it wasn't anything crazy. Just, France was just literally, playing a little bit harder than them. And then I think when it got to around about 7 minutes in the fourth quarter, they weren't really attacking. Like, they were just passing it around. It was like, no, you shoot it. Instead of, somebody just like, all right, just take the easy 2. Like, stop, you kind of hurting the offense, not hurting, you're not helping yourself at all.
Yeah, and I kind of got that same experience. There's times where it was just like overpassing to the point where Devin Booker, Steve Kerr shouted him out, and I totally agree. Devin Booker was ice cold through the entire thing. I think you
had a problem with him.
Yeah, Devin Booker, unsung hero in this whole thing. I shouldn't say unsung because Steve Kerr did eventually give him a shout out. Like, I didn't hear anybody really ask me any questions about Devin Booker, but it wasn't even just offensively. Devin Booker defensively was awesome. What Jimmy Butler was, the times that we've kind of seen him, he's not as, strong defensively, but definitely turned things up and kind of got things. He was active on the defensive side. He got turnovers, rebounds and whatnot. He was a mismatch for a lot of people. And I remember we were talking about, he was like, well, they went smaller and stuff with Bam and Tyler. You couldn't really keep him off the floor just because of what he was doing on both sides. So just imagine if you can get him to do that with the Suns, what they would be like. Yeah, that's okay. This is where I always go back to the Suns, where I'm like, look at how good Devin Booker was in just that pure shooting guard role. And obviously he'd take even more shots. They need a playmaker so bad down in Phoenix because KD's kind of the same build. Bradley Beal's the same build. Like, they need a true playmaker, and that's why I always go back to it. I'm a little bit biased on Chris Paul, but biggest mistake, I think, because now he's down in San Antonio, and if the world didn't realize Wembanyama is good,
my goodness, that is going to be a nightmare. Like, they could make a run, for the Western Conference Finals. Like, they can be a top 5 team, and I believe that much of CP and him. Pop is similar to Phil Jackson. They have a system, regardless of whatever it is, the system works. You get the right pieces in that system and whatnot, you've seen what happened. You've seen it with Kawhi. They weren't terrible with DeMar. I just think DeMar he had some things going on, family issues wise or whatnot. But they got some pieces down there, and if they continue to add, a sniper for a shooter, that can, knock it down anywhere, that they're going to be a problem because CP and Wemby on a pick and roll, that's going to be hell for a lot of people.
Victor Wembanyama in itself is already, through this entire Olympics, what a nightmare.
He looked way more better. He looked way more confident than he was in the NBA.
He was having step back threes at like a high consistency. Like, I couldn't believe how good that shooting was.
Not to say that he wasn't, doing things in the NBA. He was, but he wasn't that comfortable. Like with France, I was like, okay, he's he understands, you know, a lot more like what are his go-to, what are his spots. So year 2 under Pop, oh my God, look out.
He's going to arrive next year. I don't think it's going to take him another year. I think this upcoming season, I think Victor kind of arrived in this Olympics. I think he's fully going to be present in this. I mean, I don't think it's crazy to say he's probably going to be a favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year. Easily. He was already in the running for it, despite being a rookie.
Easily.
And then offensively, I mean, he might even he could probably go for the most improved player too, even though he was Rookie of the Year. He could probably stack. I mean, Victor Wembanyama. Is there any other player that's in his kind of bracket, or even younger guys maybe drafted later, that scares you as much as Victor Wembanyama? I shouldn't say scare, but in terms of this guy is probably going to be just dominating the league as long as he stays healthy.
From that draft class, or just period?
Just young guys in general. Because as much as I love Anthony Edwards, I just think Victor Wembanyama is on kind of an island of his own.
Don't get ahead of yourself now. Like don't get ahead of yourself.
If Anthony Edwards is on France, do they make it to the finals?
Is on what you mean is on France?
Yes, say he's playing for the French national team. They're not in the finals for the Olympics. They're not there without Victor Wembanyama. That's what I'm saying. That's how good he was. I mean, he was the leader of that team, and he brought him all the way to the finals.
Don't piss me off, dude.
Am I wrong?
I'm not. You're not wrong, but I think they're both great in their own way and whatnot. I think Anthony has significantly done more, and he's had a longer time. Mm-hmm. They play different positions, so the impact of the game is going to be a little bit differently. But I mean, how many years has he been with the Timberwolves? 4 years, 5, maybe 4.
4 years now. Yep, I think it's to be 15.
I mean, they were literally one. If they didn't run out of steam, they should have been in the NBA Finals. Yep. Nothing to take away from Wemby. Yes, what you did in the Olympics is great and everything like that, but it ain't the NBA. So until you kind of do a little bit more, I'm gonna put a little bit more respect on Anthony Edwards' name. I ain't going just you wouldn't have done that when Wemby hasn't even done what Anthony's done. So I ain't gonna do that.
All right, I'll give you that. Because to be fair, Victor Wembanyama, they didn't even sniff the play-in, and I know the West is loaded. And I know he was a rookie, but I'll give you that. He looked great.
No, I'm not. He's a freak of nature. Mm-hmm. He's definitely showed to be dominant. We're gonna see what things are with and how things can be with when you get a facilitator, a floor general, and Chris Paul, and see what he does. But I mean, as of right now, you can arguably say Anthony Edwards. Not saying that Wemby isn't one of the faces of the NBA, but he's not there yet. You can say Anthony Edwards is part one of the faces of the NBA. He is a young superstar. Not to say that Wemby's not, but I'm just saying for what Ant has worked for and everything like that, the things that he has done with Minnesota and whatnot. People are looking at him a little bit more than some of these other players.
Yep, and then I'll play devil's advocate for myself here. It should make sense that he's going to be better in FIBA. I mean, that's what he grew up in. So he does still have that adjustment to the NBA, even though he was Rookie of the Year. That FIBA version looks so much better. So it's maybe is going to take a little bit more time. He'll certainly be a great player that a lot of teams love to have. But Anthony Edwards, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. He still needs to win some games, at least get to the playoffs before we.
Yeah, you got to stack some consistent years before you just. Oh yeah, no, I'm not about to disrespect Ant like that. Ant broke records with his contract. He's probably the face of Adidas basketball. He honestly, he's probably following in close steps of what we thought. Jaden Tatum was. Tatum was. How his ascension to things and everything like that. Ant has to, win a championship in these next couple of years. Or people are going to start looking at him how, before Tatum won this last championship, how people are looking at him. So he's right on that level of things. So I'm not going to disrespect a man like that.
That's fair. And since we're talking about Anthony Edwards, we got to wrap up this segment here. what's going on with the Noah Lyles drama? Have you caught any of it yet about he's backtracking a little bit, but just some bizarre statements. Shout out to Noah Lyles. He wins the gold, gets COVID at some point, doesn't win the 200. I appreciate him for bringing home the gold, but he's been on a roll here with some crazy headlines. This is Noah Lyles. He was offended when Adidas invited him to an Anthony Edwards shoe release event. And here's a verbatim quote from him. And I'm going to give you verbatim because his backtrack's hilarious. You want to invite me to an event for a man who has not even been to an NBA finals and a sport that you don't even care about, and you're giving him a shoe? No disrespect. The man is an amazing athlete. So he gives a little kid, he says, no disrespect. He's an amazing athlete.
You are disrespect.
Offer disrespect. And this is what really cracks me up with Noah Lyles. His backtracking, just the way it starts. There is a rumor going around that I did not go to Anthony Edwards' shoe release because he didn't deserve it. I don't think that's a rumor. I think that was a direct quote from Noah Lyles. So not great PR work. I got to be honest.
I think he's a bit salty just because he's mad that Adidas is probably not treating him as fair as he would want them to be. As far as I know, he said something about having a signature shoe and whatnot. So it's a little bit different. You know, it's two different sports. No knock on him. There's a lot more money in basketball and basketball apparel, selling wise and everything like that. It's more marketable.
Yeah, that's exactly
the market is bigger necessarily, you know, than track stuff. I mean, you know, he says he wants his own shoe, not necessarily just, you know, a spike, which, you know, I think is different, and he probably, you know, could pull something like that off. So I don't think he's mad at Edwards, and I don't think, you know, I think he's upset with Adidas and the fact that kind of Anthony is, you know, the middleman. You know, he's catching a stray bullet. So, I mean, that's how he feel about things. He feels like, you know, he's wanted more in his arena for his accomplishments, and right so. I mean, that's what he thinks. If he's been dominant, you know, these past couple of years on the track, and if he feels like, you know, he's not getting what he's deserved, I mean, he's voicing it. He's clear about it. So he could have went, you know, he didn't have to throw so many jabs as he did, but you could have said it a little bit different way. But I think that still might be, you know, that beef or that little, you know, back and forth going with the, you know, the NBA basketball players and him kind of, you know, the champions of the world and stuff like that. So I think he's kind of, you know, irritated with that probably.
Yeah, it's certainly more with Adidas and the money that the basketball athletes get compared to what, because obviously he's a fantastic track athlete.
For sure.
He should advocate, you know, don't get me wrong. If you're Noah Lyles, definitely take the opportunity.
For sure.
Try to find a different angle. That's all I'm saying with it. I mean, you probably do deserve to kind of get some sort of deals together.
Indeed.
Especially when you win the gold. There's going to be some doors opening for you. So again, to me, that's just like kind of an unfortunate PR moment for him because he just got a ton of traction, and then it kind of lost a little bit of that credibility. And again, I don't think he's disrespecting Anthony Edwards, and he could have a legitimate argument that maybe his deal with Adidas isn't quite as fair a shake, but just probably not the right angle to take. So Noah Lyles, again, I'm not hating on the guy too much. Just
I mean, you know, every brand, you know, has the face that you know, a star athlete for a sport. Just about when you see Under Armour basketball, who do you think of? Steph.
Right. Yep.
But when you see Adidas basketball, you know, who do you think of? Anthony. As of now, you know, when you see Nike, when you think of basketball, who do you think of?
Everybody else.
LeBron, mostly, you know, Nike basketball. When you see Jordan, I mean, Jordan is still Jordan. He has Jordan athletes, but I mean, none has still, you know, captivated or have his type of success, you know, for basketball. You know, Russell Westbrook was a Jordan athlete. Chris Paul is a Jordan athlete. Melo is still a Jordan athlete and whatnot. So I mean, he's not wrong, but it's just like there's a little bit more money. There's a lot more, you know, money flowing in for basketball stuff than track. I mean, that could be to his point of, you know, advocating for more stuff or whatnot. but that doesn't mean just because it's there that people are going to flock to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a difference. But I get what he's saying, completely. I mean, if he feels that way, he feels that way. That's on him.
Yeah, and the other thing, if you're no loss, I think it's smart if you're an Adidas athlete, like to try to advocate. But it's also, to me, I think it's just tough in the track and field world. Competing with Nike is a nightmare. So if you're not partnering with Nike,
anything, and the only one that's been probably successful with it has been Jordan.
Yep.
So I mean, it's in anything. Like, I mean, Nike literally runs it. Like, it's not even close. So I mean, you might have to think about other sponsorships or something. But
that's where I'm at. I think you just find definitely do what you
can.
I
mean, who's gonna, like? Okay, you say that, but is Under? I don't even know. I don't even know if Under Armour has track spikes. I don't even know. If they. I'm sure they have track stuff, but I don't even know the quality of it. It's always just been you got Puma that's been all right for track stuff. You have Nike, you got Adidas, and I mean that's pretty much it. To what I know of stuff. So sometimes the grass ain't always green on the other side. So he's voicing his frustrations. Hopefully they get some things figured out that he wants to get done.
Yeah, and real again, just as we're kind of clarifying, just the dominance of Nike. About 53 of the medalists out of 73 were all Nike athletes. So again, they have such a strong grip on the track and field world. If you're no Lyles, you're a great athlete. You can find money probably elsewhere. I think Adidas is just a tough one. Adidas, they're in the market certainly, but yeah, when we're talking about track and field, that is just a Nike dominated world. And you just go watch the Olympics. You look at everybody's feet. It's going to be Nike, Nike, Nike. Once in a blue moon, maybe a Puma, maybe Asics. I don't know if Asics has shoes. And then of
not
course,
too sure either. I know Asics is good too. I know they're more so for like training shoes. I don't know if they have.
Yeah, big in the volleyball world. I know Asics. That's kind of their corner. At least it was for me. I don't know. Maybe people.
That's a hard thing. Like not to say, but when Bolt was running with Puma and everything like that, everybody jumped on that. But I mean. Both, I think, is just in a little bit different category than Noah. Not to say he's not to say he's not there yet, but just Bolt was just something. He was a
procs on Usain Bolt.
He was a unicorn. So I mean, it's something different. I mean, he's not. I don't want to say he's not on that level because he's in a different league of his own as well.
It's fair to say he's not Usain Bolt level. I mean, he hasn't broken the world record, so and that's totally fine. Usain Bolt's an incredible athlete. Noah Lyles right now, I mean, who knows? He's still got some time. He might be able to PR here and even push beyond that. But I mean, he's not Usain Bolt, at least not now, at least not in this Olympics. So I think with Usain Bolt, I mean, you really could have put him in shoes that weren't up to par with everybody else. And I think Usain Bolt's still finding ways to win gold. I mean, he's just
easily
one of those generational athletes that I'll be lucky if I see anybody close to him the rest of my lifetime. So with that being said, we're a little bit over. That's the Noah Lyles drama. I want to put some clarity to it because I do think some people get a little too much hate on Noah Lyles. If you actually kind of think about where he's coming from, makes a little bit more sense. But there's the drama. On the other side, we talked a little bit about it on 101. We got a left tackle problem, and that's a pretty big position for Husker football. So we're going to talk about that on the other side, get the morning Pierson-El's input on it. So don't go anywhere. Don't punt hour. We'll be back in just a little bit.
Stevens & Smith Construction is a full-service, employee-owned concrete company that specializes in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've been a leader in the concrete industry since 1971, with nearly 250 employees combining for more than 2,000 years of service. With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, they're united in quality, integrity, and professionalism to create excellence in construction. Learn more today at stevensandsmith.com.
Announcing Acres' end of summer sales event. Acres has dropped its prices on select late model John Deere tractors, combines, and corn heads. Act now and upgrade your equipment before harvest season. Trade in your old equipment today and get unbelievable discounts that could save you over $100,000. With great financing options and our A+ support, there's no better time to buy. Visit your local Acres store or see the huge savings at acres.com. That's AKRS.com to see the best prices in the nation.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation right now at appliedconnective.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186. Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. We know that navigating the legal system is stressful and overwhelming, but Liberty Law Group will carry that burden for you. When you're facing legal issues, make the right call. 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Stevens & Smith Construction is a full-service, employee-owned concrete company that specializes in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've been a leader in the concrete industry since 1971, with nearly 250 employees combining for more than 2,000 years of service. With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, they're united in quality, integrity, and professionalism to create excellence in construction. Learn more today at stevensandsmith.com.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back into the Don't Punt Hour as we switch it over to Husker football. 402-464-5685 as always. And again, to kind of capitalize on this one, we didn't get a ton of time to really dive into it because I selfishly had to ask Barry Thompson about the Chicago Bears and what their season may look like optimistically. So we had to cut it short. But we did touch on it a little bit. I got to get your perspective. Left tackle gets hurt 2 weeks out now. So obviously, and Turner Corcoran, the guy who's going to fill, he's been hurt as well, and he's going to be coming back into that role. So you got a guy who would be your replacement is just starting to kind of get back and healthy, and obviously the original starter is now out. Should we, what are the alarm bells saying, if at all?
Well, you have to have people that can play guard and tackle. I don't know if the situation, do you remove your best right tackle to left to see if he can kind of be better? That's going to be the quarterback's, blind side.
Yep. It's such a vital position. That's what makes it the hard part. That left tackle is, he's been going, that's, help me if I'm wrong here, but you're probably going to put your best end rusher on that side of the line to go ahead and attack that blind spot.
Depends on who it is. Depending on your best rusher, because certain rushers might have a special move off a certain foot.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. So if you've seen, for instance, DeMarcus Ware, he was always on the left side. You really didn't see him, go off. Could he play the right? Yeah, but Dwight Freeney, that left side from a 5 tech, 9 tech, somewhere out there. So it just depends. But TJ Watt, he prefers the right side. He's not as he's good on the left, but his right side is his side.
Yeah.
So it just depends on kind of how their rusher is. But with them, I don't know if you put your second string right tackle to see if he can switch over and play to the left just because it's health. That way, your guys that are still nicked down, you got them. They can stay a little bit more healthy or rotate them in or something. It's an unfortunate situation this close to the season.
Well, you could. So this is what you could do, right? With Turner Corcoran, you probably put him at that left tackle. Otherwise, in depth, you're looking at guys like Gunnar Katula, who's currently set to be the replacement. If you got faith in Gunnar Katula, redshirt freshman. Otherwise, you do got another freshman, big addition, Maskua, but is he ready as well? Again, getting in that system, is he fully comfortable yet? He is
older. From the transfer portal right now.
What's that?
So we can't get nobody from the transfer portal right now.
Locked up.
It's just I'm thinking of any way possible. So one of the younger guys are going to have to step up. They're going to do that. I'm pretty sure, some of the guards might have a cross train from from guard to tackle. I remember Cole. I can't think of his last name. His last name is leaving me, but he played all over. He played left guard, left tackle. Then he moved to center, and then right guard, and then moved back to center. So I'm pretty sure those coaches know like who can kind of play multiple positions, not just strictly one position. You see it oftentimes, going to the next level. If you're kind of not big enough for those tackles, you're going to play guard center. So I'm pretty sure they have an idea of a rotation or guys of who it's going to be between who can play, that starting spot. You don't know if some of the guys that were there, did they come in playing on the left side, and when they got here, they just switched to right, but they're naturally, left that on the left side of the line. So I mean, those are some of the things that you might, kind of go and research in the room or whatnot, or kind of see, who's comfortable or who's better at making the switch.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be one of those things where I truly think it's going to be wait until Saturday to see what does this thing really look like. Because again, the left tackle, obviously pretty vital. The timing of the injury, just not great at all. That right before the season's about to start here. And then again, what we'll see with Gunnar Katula being a true freshman, a redshirt freshman, how that thing's going to shake out. So
that's not bad. I mean, you got a guy that's, set and got stronger. He probably played a few games last year, so kind of got the things and whatnot. You might need to just rip the Band-Aid off and just, hey, welcome to the show.
Well, hey, and to be fair, fits the profile, right? 6'5", almost 300 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's got the build for it. It's just, can it click together fast enough? And again, I think it would be a lot better, but just that quick turnaround, obviously having to step in there now, hopefully he was ready and just always kind of on the edge there. But obviously when you're that far close, he's probably kind of getting used to what his role was going to be. But no, so hopefully there's some optimism that Gunnar Katula can kind of live up to that. I mean, again, 6'5", almost 300 pounds, certainly fits the profile.
Definitely
does.
What
that worth look like? Yeah. I mean, something to watch. Not a great week for just offensive line news either. Also got a Fong Bong earlier today. Feinbaum gives the crystal ball projection that Sanders will be heading to Tennessee. So not official yet, but we'll see if we lose out on him too. Obviously, that would have been a big deal given his kind of prowess when he came to Lincoln, the big support there. It really came down between Tennessee and Nebraska. We get a Fong Bong that likely going to be Tennessee, at least off his projections. It's going to be interesting to kind of see how this thing shakes out. So now that we're at this point, we're 2 weeks away. We also had a pretty interesting practice situation where Matt Rule closed down that last open practice, wanted to keep it in-house, really talking about how the guys were going back to playing losing football in terms of when the fans got there, they got away from what they're doing in practice. How real is that when the fans and everybody's out to where maybe some of those practice habits, especially if you've been in a losing program, kind of go away? Because I was surprised to see him go ahead and close that last one down, and strong conviction when talking about it.
I wouldn't say it's excitement. Somebody's watching you, so you try and do a little bit more, or you kind of, do not necessarily what you are accustomed to or kind of what the straight line is. You kind of do a little bit more just because, it's new eyes or whatnot. You're excited about certain things or whatnot. Again, I would say on the offensive side, it's a younger team. Defense have some new players that played a bit last year, but I would feel like the offensive side is probably younger than the defensive side. So I mean, it's him protecting the team and getting things right. It's the little things. It's not the big thing. It's the little things. That's what he's preached entirely. Cleaning up, playing clean football and whatnot. So especially with going into closer to the season, they've been at camp 3-4 weeks, hasn't really been around nobody. People are starting to come back to campus. They probably, might be moving to, the dorm soon or whatnot. So, you give a little inch, they jumped and took a mile. It's just him kind of just, bringing everything back in and just, refocusing their mind. So I wouldn't be concerned about it or anything like that. People just get excited.
Yep. And to be fair, I mean, he directly quoted, he's like, I even have players tell me when my parents get there, they get a little bit nervous. So again, I think he just really wants to continue to get that drill work in. And as soon as when the fans and families showed up and they kind of got off script, the excitement caught up, makes sense. He's like, nope, we're still not there yet. You guys are still kind of falling back into the hype around the stadium, doing a little bit, maybe too extra, especially because it was kind of thud. And he mentioned that a few people going a little too hard in thud, maybe trying to show off a little bit in front of the fans, or just the adrenaline pumping through. Thought that was interesting, but Matt Rule did clarify as to why. I wanted to get your thoughts on that before we throw it to our last break here. Again, we got the Don't Punt Hour. And to wrap things up on the final segment, we did get the official AP preseason top 25 poll. Nebraska got some votes, a little more than what they got in the coaches poll. So we'll do that last to wrap things up. Don't go anywhere on the Don't Punt Hour.
Announcing Acres' end of summer sales event. Acres has dropped its prices on select late model John Deere tractors, combines, and corn heads. Act now and upgrade your equipment before harvest season. Trade in your old equipment today and get unbelievable discounts that could save you over $100,000. With great financing options and our A+ support, there's no better time to buy. Visit your local Acres store or see the huge savings at acres.com. That's AKRS.com to see the best prices in the nation.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation right now at appliedconnective.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Against Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Against Sports at 48th and Vine.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186. Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. We know that navigating the legal system is stressful and overwhelming, but Liberty Law Group will carry that burden for you. When you're facing legal issues, make the right call. 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Pierson-El.
All right, wrapping things up here, final segment. We're going to work through the AP preseason top 25 college football poll. Again, we went through the coaches poll earlier, but this one, Nebraska garners a few more votes. And of course, Iowa sneaks in there right at 25, right on schedule. Interesting, if everyone's been paying attention, Iowa's getting some news out of camp as well that the offense isn't looking great. So we'll see if that defense is going to carry them again. But I do want to talk about this AP preseason top 25 poll before we get too far. At number 1, no surprise, you got Georgia, 2, Ohio State, 3, Oregon, 4, Texas, 5, Alabama, 6, Ole Miss, 7, Notre Dame, 8, Penn State, Michigan all the way at 9. That's the first one that kind of sticks out to me. Does that feel like a fair assessment considering I think another polls is up there? I think 4, 7, 6 is kind of as low as you see them. They got them all the way at number 9. I'm surprised to see Michigan there.
Honestly, that's not far off. I think that's still a respect of, okay, y'all were the national champs, but you still lost a lot of pieces, and we don't know what you're gonna look like. So Michigan at 9, like that's not bad. I mean, that's a fair assessment.
Still top 10, right? I don't got too much problems either. Florida State at 10, Missouri 11. I know you're high on Missouri. 11, or would you bump them higher?
Honestly, I don't like Notre Dame just because I think they have a cakewalk of a schedule. So I think once they actually go against, some of the more competitive teams, we'll see how they do. They lost their quarterback. Their quarterback was great for them. They've been okay, a lot better than what they have been, I would say, these past couple of years. But they don't really, their schedule isn't really stacked. So that's why you see when they did make these playoffs, they would go against some of these teams and get blown out. So I wouldn't have had Notre Dame in the top 10, and you could probably squeak Mizzou in the top 10 for that. Not at 7, but you know what I'm saying? From 7 after or whatever, I think Mizzou is definitely a better team than Notre Dame.
It feels actually about right to me, just because if you're going to follow the progression, there's certainly room for those guys to continue to climb up in there. But if you're going off of last season, being right after 10, being at that 11 spot, feels pretty fair to me. I think they're, again, with that schedule, how much of that they're weighing in here, kind of counting the losses. Obviously, that's going to shift where you're at. That feels about right to me. I got no problems with Missouri. But then we get to number 12, Utah, 13, LSU, 14, Clemson, 15, they got Tennessee, 16, Oklahoma, 17, Oklahoma State. I'm always high on Oklahoma State. Every year I feel like those guys are underrated, but 17 actually doesn't feel too bad. In years prior, I feel like they typically kind of get pushed to the back for whatever reason. Kansas State at 18. I think Kansas State has a real chance to have something awesome this year. You get a lot of hype about their quarterback.
The Big 12 is going to be something to keep an eye on. I think they're going to have explosive offenses. They're going to be, they're going to be what we've seen, high scoring games and everything like that. But when you come, against some of these higher teams, I don't think they'll be able to stop them as much. I think you'll see Oklahoma State blossom a lot more. I think Utah's in the Big 12 too as well, right?
Yep.
So I think they'll be, one of the stronger teams. You got Colorado down there.
Don't forget about Arizona. They've actually been putting together a program in the Big 12 as well. I think Arizona's.
I gotta say, I'm not buying the Arizona. Arizona's. I would have to see it for me to. Utah beat Florida last year.
Mm-hmm.
So them going to the Big 12, they actually, have they were kind of remind me of those Washington teams or Stanford teams with strong offenses and defenses. Those are one of those Pac-12 teams that was kind of getting on that. So they're going to be a strong team in the Big 12. Kansas, K-State, they're up on the uprise. They've been better these past couple of years. Hopefully they continue to take another step in the right direction.
Yeah, and you mentioned Kansas. Where you at? I think Leipold is on to something. I don't know what the ceiling is for Kansas.
Give him a couple of years. I like what he's doing down there. As long as you can win enough games to go to a bowl game, I think you'll be able to get some of the kids that you're targeting and whatnot. So Kansas, at 22. Some of those Big 12 teams are going to knock each other out.
Yep.
So I get it. It's a starting point. We'll see.
23, Big 10, USC.
I'm not high on them. I'm not high.
I think I'm with you. I think they fall out of the top 25 as soon as they get into kind of the meat of their schedule. I
would say after game 6 and on. Mm-hmm. Once you hit the medium, literally the medium of the schedule, and you got to play, like I said, until you have a full Big Ten schedule. Like they getting the Big Ten teams done early. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how they look. I could be wrong. I know they have some explosive young cats on offense, but I need to see it. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I'm just that's with all those teams from the Pac-12 entering into the Big Ten. Outside of Oregon, I'm a little just even Oregon. I mentioned it earlier. We kind of brushed over it. I do think they'll be very solid, but number 3, I'm just going to be really curious. Can they hold on to that? What does the transition look like? Is that Big Ten an adjustment period? Because any sort of adjustment, when you're as high as 3, that's not good. When you're up there that highly ranked, they're going to have to try to dominate throughout their schedule. And we took a peek at their schedule. There's a good chance
if Oregon's problem is once they run into somebody that can kind of compete with them, that can score just as fast as they can, defensively that can, stop them and whatnot. I think that once they start getting into some of those Big Ten teams that are, your first quarter or, first 2 quarters might start off well, but you got to play a full game. People get tired. People don't want to get hit. It's a different type of style of ball. So once you kind of run into those, heavyweights, or those middleweights that can, that's going to be a tough game. I think those are the schools that are going to challenge Oregon.
Yeah, it feels like Ohio State would be the kind of kryptonite against an Oregon team, just because
I think Ohio State runs through Oregon. It's not close.
Yep. I just think they got the
Penn
offensive
State,
prowess to keep up, and defensively they're going to be better.
Penn State,
Michigan, I'm not sure about, just because I don't know what.
But Michigan can slow the game down enough to where they're going to eat the clock. So like it's not going to be a Oregon type of style of game. So those that can, like I said, kind of slow them down a little bit. I think those are the teams where they're kind of in a dogfight and they didn't necessarily expect it. I think those are the teams that will catch Oregon or give Oregon a problem.
And then wrapping this thing up, as we got a little bit of time here left, NC State. Is that the first ACC team we get?
Clemson, Florida State.
Oh, yep. You got a few on there. Okay. Well, we got NC State all the way at 24, 25 Iowa. I think they might be the first one out. There's some real disappointment with that offense. I'm very curious about Iowa.
They've never really been flashy on offense. That's just their bread and butter is other things. So again, they're probably getting the respect of people. Just we know what to expect from them. So that you have it, but they play games and the score will be 9-3 or 9-6. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it is. We'll have to wait with Iowa. They are such an anomaly just in college football in itself. How they give them credit, they managed to win, but it is typically not pretty. All right, to wrap this thing up, we'll just go through the votes you received. The outside looking in, Louisville would be the next one, 111 votes. Virginia Tech 77, Boise State at 47. And then you get to SMU 33, Iowa State 33, Liberty 32, Washington 23, West Virginia 17, Memphis 16, and then you get to Nebraska at 16. Sneaking in there at the very end, Colorado does receive 1 vote. I'd be curious to see who voted Colorado in there, but nonetheless, that's going to wrap up our show. A quick rundown of the AP preseason top 25 polls. Don't go anywhere. What's brewing with Chance of Brewington up next. Good morning, Pierson-El. Appreciate the time as always. We'll do it again tomorrow.